Anguilla announces May 25 border reopening. Following a month-long closure due to a COVID-19 cluster of cases, Anguilla is ready to reopen in a week and a half. The quarantine period for fully vaccinated travelers has been reduced to 7 days. Being fully vaccinated is defined as receiving the last dose of the vaccine at least 3 weeks before arrival on the island. Today, the government of Anguilla announced that the island's borders will reopen to visitors on May 25, 2021. This is following a month-long closure for the effective management of a cluster of active COVID-19 cases identified on April 22. In light of the successful containment of this recent cluster and the progressive vaccination program on island, the government of Anguilla has reduced the quarantine period to 7 days for visitors who are fully vaccinated, meaning visitors who have had their last dose of vaccine administered at least 3 weeks before arrival on island. We suffered a temporary setback when we had to close our borders on April 22, declared the HUN Parliamentary Secretary Tourism, Mrs. Quinsha Gums-Murray. We acted swiftly and implemented a number of proactive measures to manage and contain this cluster of infections, along with an expanded vaccination outreach. The result is that we are confident we can now safely reopen while protecting the health of our residents and visitors. The previously released measures will remain in place. Vaccinated and non-vaccinated visitors apply for entry permission. Provide proof of health insurance (COVERAGE). This requirement pertains only to non-vaccinated visitors. Produce a negative RT-PCR test administered 3 to 5 days prior to arrival on island. Undergo a PCR test on arrival at port of entry. The quarantine period for travelers with evidence of full COVID-19 vaccination with final dose administered at least 3 weeks, 21 days, before arrival date will be reduced to 7 days. Non-vaccinated travelers' quarantine remains as 10-14 days depending on country of origin. Multi-generational families and/or groups with a mix of unvaccinated and vaccinated persons will all have to quarantine for a 10-day period, utilizing only approved short-stay services. FEE-approved COVID-19 rapid antigen test will be approved for use for persons requiring a test for onward travel only. These tests will not be utilized for persons entering Anguilla or to exit quarantine. Fees for visitors will be $300 for individual plus $200 for any additional persons on application. The fees for visitors staying in private accommodation will be 1. Vaccinated persons $300 for an individual plus $200 for any additional persons. Persons traveling in groups, more than 10 persons, will be required to be vaccinated to enter and conduct any mass gatherings in Anguilla, i.e., conferences, weddings, etc. Spa, gym, and cosmetology services will be permitted to short-stay visitors if both staff and visitors are fully vaccinated, i.e. 3 weeks have passed since the final dose of an approved vaccine. July 1, 2021 vaccinated visitors. All visitors to Anguilla who are eligible to be vaccinated against COVID-19 are required to be fully vaccinated at least 3 weeks before arrival. Travelers with evidence of full COVID-19 vaccination will not be required to quarantine on arrival if the final vaccine dose is administered at least 3 weeks before the date of arrival. Persons entering Anguilla will be required to produce a negative COVID-19 test administered 3-5 days prior to arrival. Fully vaccinated persons will not be tested upon arrival. Visitors must apply for entry permission. No proof of health insurance is required. No fees for entry. Multi-generational families and/or groups with a mix of individuals who are not eligible for the vaccine, i.e. children, will not need to quarantine, but they will need a negative PCR test administered 3-5 days ahead of arrival and may be tested on arrival and subsequently during their stay. Said tests may be subject to a fee. Anguilla remains a desirable and sought-after destination which is reflected in our solid forward bookings for the Memorial Day weekend and beyond," stated the Director of Tourism, Mrs. Stacy Liber. "We look forward to welcoming back our many repeat guests and introducing a host of new friends to Anguilla, who will discover for themselves what makes our island a beyond extraordinary destination." The Ministry of Health and Health Authority colleagues initiated aggressive contact tracing to identify every individual within the recent cluster. As of May 6th, 1,460 persons have been tested, and of those 64 positive cases were identified. All individuals identified were placed under quarantine and monitored throughout their recovery. The government also expanded vaccination sites island-wide in a concerted effort to achieve the stated target of 70% of Anguilla's resident population, which will drastically reduce the possibility of viral transmission. As of May 5, 2021, there were 8,007 registered persons for the vaccine, of which 7,332 persons had received their first dose, representing 58% of the target population number of 12,600 persons. Thus far, 3,173 persons have received their second dose. The government of Anguilla continues to update both its citizenry and the tourism community on the status of the pandemic on island in regular briefings broadcast live on its Facebook page. For travel information on Anguilla, please visit the official website of the Anguilla Tourist Board, www.ivisitangula.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com Anguilla Official, Instagram @Anguilla Tourism, Twitter @Anguilla TRSM, #MyAnguilla. About Anguilla. Tucked away in the northern Caribbean, Anguilla is a shy beauty with a warm smile. A slender length of coral and limestone fringed with green, the island is ringed with 33 beaches, considered by savvy travelers and top travel magazines to be the most beautiful in the world. A fantastic culinary scene, a wide variety of quality accommodations at varying price points, a host of attractions and exciting calendar of festivals make Anguilla an alluring and entrancing destination. Anguilla lies just off the beaten path, so it has retained a charming character and appeal. Yet because it can be conveniently reached from two major gateways, Puerto Rico and St. Martin, and by private air, it's a hop and a skip away. Romance, barefoot elegance, unfussy chic, and untrammeled bliss. Anguilla is beyond extraordinary. More news about Anguilla. Rebuilding travel